Mitch. You college diploma having son of a bitch.
You know it, man. That's right. And thank you. Although you're a little late to the party. I kind of been out for a minute now.
Hey, Birdman, listen, you got to get your flowers wherever we can get it. But once again, welcome to the Not Exactly Kids podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Isaiah Jones.
This is Elhad Jotlin, guys, and welcome. This is our very first episode. So,
whoa, we don't have all the tools and stuff for the little audio effects that's coming soon. We're easing our way into this.
We're going to grow. Our products will grow.
As we grow, you grow, and we all grow together, as Barney said, I love you, you love me. Let's get together and make this money. All right, so today's first episode is basically going to be an introduction to one another, and I'm going to let my man Hodge start off.
Let's see where we begin.
Well, we could always start off about how I met your dumbass.
Oh man, how long ago was
put numbers in?
We actually have to do the math because now that you said it, I really got to think about this because I'm 25.
No, we don't. Let's not.
And I met you.
The math.
This is probably like 2000 and. No, it's 2002 when I first met you because
let's
we both
not do the math. We don't have to do the math.
Basketball for Division of Rec, even though we weren't friends.
Yep. Plainfield, New Jersey, Division of Recreation. Yeah. What team was that? We were the Knicks, right?
No, that's a little bit years later. This is like this is like the 8-year-old division. I was on the Magics.
We were the Magics?
No, I was on the Magics because I had the black jersey. You were some other squad.
I honestly don't even remember the name of that squad, but yeah, no. So yeah, met then. Played together, didn't know each other, wasn't friends. You and your brother,
there was no way,
friends, wasn't no conversation had. And this was the beginning when we first met, and everybody used to call them the twins, and I was just the kid.
He was not just the kid. They all called him Little Jones, is what they called him after his dad, Cokes Jones.
I was just the kid.
So he said.
I was just the kid. We just gonna go with the kid. But what, 3-4 years later? What was it?
Yeah, because that's when I moved from.
No, not you weren't. You were still on the West End when we played together.
Yeah. Oh, then that has to be the Knicks.
Yeah, that was the. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was the Knicks year because it was me, you, Aaron, Snoop,
Markel,
some other little skinny dude.
I think his name was Frankie.
I don't think it's.
I think his name was. He's a skinny, slim, light-skinned dude. I think his name was Frankie.
I don't think his name was Frankie.
We haven't heard from Frankie in years now. We don't know if he's still alive.
Shout out to Frankie, man. Hope you're doing well out there. And Messiah, and yeah, the first time I met them, I hated them with a passion. I really did. Go ahead, tell them why. Tell them why I hated y'all asses.
All right, guys. So you guys you guys have to really just bear with me on this one. So I was not a nice person when I was younger. Me and my brother, we were not nice people. We were from the project, so we're a-holes. But this dude, first off, his head was like huge, and he used to rock like this low sporting weave kind of cut. But that wasn't the thing. The thing was he used to wear these giant Kareem Abdul-Jabbar kind of like goggles.
And Kareem's a legend.
But nobody in the entire division actually wore those. They may wear like little sport goggles, like the little glasses, but he had the full strap in the back, bro.
Okay, let me just explain to you though. Let me just explain. I can't see. So it was either play with my glasses, which I personally would have preferred because I seen them on my face. I knew the jokes was coming. See, the thing about it was I'm not Kareem, so I'm not like 8 foot tall or whatever. So yeah, no, me being average height, wearing goggles, dark skin, wasn't really the best look. You looked crazy. I literally looked like what's his name? What was his name? Grant Hill, not Grant Hill. The dude off of the Magics, him with the goggles, didn't like it, hated it with a passion. And then to be on a team with two people that are making fun of you for wearing them, when it's like, okay, team camaraderie and all that stuff, togetherness and one team.
We were a strong team, but we were like the jokester squad though. Like the whole entire team was just made up of just complete buffoons.
Yes, but it's just weird how I was ended up being the butt of the joke at all times, But
Well, it's because you're an easy target, and that goes out to all you 4-eyed wearing glasses people out there. You're
listen,
just a
you
walking
2-eyed
target.
having bastards. It's not our fault. We were born with astigmatism, like myself, or we just can't get that 20/20 vision. It's not cheap, That's expensive. When you're born and all your parents wear glasses, both of them. One got surgery on an eye, and the other one just wears glasses, and your whole family wears glasses. It's bound to happen to you.
I don't think so, because my mom wore glasses, and I came out just fine. I mean,
well, listen, nigga, you one of the lucky ones. Don't you know what? We're not gonna get started on that. Let's continue. So yes, as you can see, I hated them. Hated them with a passion. We played together. We were a good squad, got along great. And then I would say it had to be my 7th grade, his
sixth grade.
My 8th grade, your 7th grade.
Oh, yeah, because I was in Hubbard in my I was in Hubbard my 6th grade.
So we didn't really talk much, but I was cool with them. They were cool peoples after, getting past them, making fun of me and, my ailments, They were assholes, They picked on the little guy, but look who's the big man now. Oh, I'm sorry.
Not him. Definitely not him.
So he says. But yes. So apparently they moved over to the East End.
Yeah, man, we moved over from the west side to the east side. And if any of you guys are familiar with Plainfield, that's kind of how everything is split up. Usually the west side with the new projects and the old projects, that's considered, I guess, the trap. But there were some parts of the east side that were just as rough. So, but literally the funny thing is I didn't even move far. I live on the same exact street, which is East Front Street. I just moved like 6 minutes down the road of the same exact street to a new complex. So it really wasn't much of a big move. But
so yeah, I don't know if you know this, right? But when we were at Maxon, we all heard that you and your brother was coming.
Yeah, I was nervous as shit.
No, nobody was nervous.
I was nervous.
No, nobody was nervous. Nobody was nervous. I promise you, nobody was nervous. We didn't fear y'all. Y'all was nothing to be feared.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want y'all to come
why not?
Because it was the whole Hubbard Maxon beef. So it's like, oh, so now you gonna try to come over Maxon and steal the Maxon shot. We didn't want y'all to do that. We would have tried to stay at Hubbard, do y'all thing at Hubbard. In all honesty, it had to do with the you and Joseph beef, to be honest with you, bro.
So that's the reason why?
Yes.
That's why?
Yes.
Oh my God. I never knew that.
Yes.
I never knew that.
Everybody that was at Max already had beef with you because of the whole Joseph situation.
Damn, bro. That is
you and
news
Joseph
to me.
got into it at a rec game. We automatically just did not like it.
In my defense, it was completely his fault. So this is literally like, okay, guys, this is like the semifinals, right? And my team is pretty much up. And then this guy who, his name's Joseph, he's our friend or whatever, but he was just like hacking me the entire game and fouling me. And the coaches wasn't calling anything. Referees wasn't saying anything. So it got a bit heated and emotions run high. If any of you guys play sports and you actually play it in like these really intense championship like games, emotions are running high. It's going to get pretty heated. And then that's where it went. And we almost threw blows in the middle of the court. I would have won, but it was it was definitely something.
Go into that. But yeah, so when you guys was about to come over here, we had it against y'all. We was like, we're not gonna let y'all make the team. We not even gonna let y'all play with us. You know what I'm saying? We against y'all. But I think the first day of school, I had class with Messiah, and me and Messiah just hit it off. So it was like, I feel bad that I was not supposed to like you, but I like you guys.
You like him, motherfucker. You didn't like me. Yeah? It sounds like
I like both of y'all because I was like, well, if I like him, the brother can't be that bad. And honestly, I didn't know y'all was twins until I shared class with your brother. I was like, wait, y'all not twins? He was like, no, we're not twins. I'm like, oh, shit.
Okay, guys. So you guys can understand why they called us twins. Now, me and my brother was always on the same.
They can understand why they called y'all twins.
I was about to explain why.
But you can't just say, I think you guys know why they called us twins. They don't know.
Okay, my bad. Prong choice of word. Okay. You guys need to understand why they call us twins, okay? At this time, me and my brother, we were the only two brothers on the same team And my mom used to
wouldn't say
dress
you
us
were the
up.
only two brothers.
We were the only two brothers on the same exact team. They never put two of the same brothers on the
they
same exact
always
team.
put family together. What are you talking about?
No, if that's
Yes,
the case, they would have put Wade.
Why
with
do
us.
you think Daniel? No, because see,
We got-
no. I'm gonna explain. The reason why they didn't put all y'all on the same team is because that's cheating. We're not gonna put you, Messiah, Daniel, and Wade all on the same team. They're not gonna do that. That's just not fair. Who's going to be able to play against y'all? Y'all play with each other growing up. Y'all play with each other on the playgrounds. Now you're going to be on the same team? No, that's cheating. No, of course Rick wasn't going to do that. So they did have to separate one of y'all, but they always did try to keep family on the same team. All the time.
Well, excuse me.
Because that's why that year, when you were the whatever team, the blue team, when Daniel came, he had to go to y'all team because y'all were cousins.
We were the Heat, baby. We took it down.
Because in actuality, we were mad because we were actually supposed to get the next person who came to rec because our team wasn't that loaded.
That's not our problem. Like, Daniel already had a lead in because of like the whole security guard thing.
Listen,
We
like
weren't
I
even
said-
supposed to get Daniel,
like I
I'll be
said,
honest.
It was fair. It was because of the whole family ties, but that's neither here nor there. Continue.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted.
It wasn't rude.
But
It was necessary.
Shut up. Anyway, so my brother and I, our parents used to always dress us up as like twins. So we always had the same exact hairstyle, always long braids. Everything that we wore was exactly the same. Not to mention the fact that we kind of just had, girl-like features, I guess. My eyelashes is him with something else. But they've been calling us that since we were like 8 years old. And that kind of trickled through the years.
They did think your brother was a girl.
That is a completely different.
They did. Nah, bad people thought your brother was a girl. Oh, man, look, nigga, ain't nobody tell your eyes to be as dark as they are, you demon.
He did have some dark eyes. My brother do have some really dark eyes.
Pause.
Why you got to pause on that?
No, it just felt like that was a pause situation.
There was no reason to do a pause. Not one bit.
But yeah, so they came to Maxon. We all started hanging out. And, sports was literally our thing. Like, we were literally just basketball. The one thing that a lot of people fail to realize is, if you don't know Plainfield, is that Plainfield actually is very talented when it comes to sports.
Extremely
We are
talented.
very underrated, underappreciated, and we don't get the exposure that we need when it comes to athletes, because we have some of the most amazing athletes that I personally have ever seen in my life. And we'll actually save that for another episode as well, and we'll go into a deep depth of why we feel as though it's not on the map the way it should be. So basketball was our thing, man. We played at the parks, we played in the gyms, open gyms, rec. That was just our thing. Like, it was
the end all be all for us, honestly.
you being the left-handed shooter that dribbles right, which confused a lot of people.
Yeah, I was a gumbo pot full of tricks.
And me just strictly focused on defense and hustle plays. Also, I did love to pass. I don't know. I didn't really like to shoot. I was more of a passer.
Because the motherfucker can't shoot.
Who?
You.
You fell and bumped your head, bro.
You cannot shoot.
You fell and bumped your head, bro. That jump shot was all wet. I just, honestly, I couldn't see. Not gonna hold you.
Why are you on the court then? Like, you can't see why you on the court.
Because it was either wear the goggles. I wasn't doing that. My self-esteem was low because these guys making fun of me. So my self-esteem was low. But
Tucker can't see. He got low self-esteem. Why the fuck are you on the court, bro? Honestly.
Listen. No, once I got on the court, all that disappeared, because you best believe I would get up with the best of them. I could jump with the best of them, even though sometimes people took that for granted. Once again, another episode. We're not gonna go too deep into that because we gonna talk about that. I want to talk about that one. But
he's still bitter after all these years.
yes, I'm
still
very bitter about that dumb crap, man. Freaking 5'9" jumping with niggas 6'2". Yes, I can jump, but when they put their arms up, they 6'9". I put my arms up, it go to their head. Who you think gonna get the rebound? But like I said, we're gonna let the pain go. Let the pain go. Woosah. So we started our high school life. That was where the journey began.
Yeah. High school. I fucking hated I hated high school. I hated it so much. Although freshman year wasn't that bad because I guess I didn't really care that much. I didn't really have any goals in mind. I was just like, all right, it's freshman year. It's not going to really count on my report card or whatever. I can pretty much do whatever I want. But that's kind of where I started to like lose my touch with basketball. I started to fan out and do some other things. I guess the biggest thing for me during that time was transitioning from basketball to actually a life in the military, which is something that actually most of you guys who know me probably don't even real. I guess I actually never even told you guys that, but
No, only people that knew is probably the people closest to you. Because I knew. Your brother knew. Your cousins knew.
yeah, it is so crazy because like I was like so infatuated with the military, and I was like, all right, this is exactly what I wanted to do. It's like I want to graduate out of high school, and then I want to enlist into the army, and then join the 75th Ranger Regiment. I want to be an Army Ranger so freaking badly to the point where I actually almost dropped out of high school.
I do remember that. I do remember
Legit,
that
I almost dropped out of high school just so I can go to this military school that will allow me to get my GED. So by the time I get out, I'll be 17. That way I can already enlist earlier.
Ooh, boy, that conversation with your mom would have been a doozy.
Oh, yeah, my mom was not happy about that one, man. Even now when I bring that up, she's just like, my mom literally said, if you go, you're going to die. This is true words to my own mother.
But my question to you is, because I know the reason why I lost touch with basketball. What was the reason you lost touch? Like, what was the reasoning behind you drifting from basketball into, let me explore this Ranger life?
I don't know. I guess it just became, I've been doing it like all my life and I haven't tried anything new. So it's kind of like all I know at the time. But it just got so political, especially when you get to like the high school level with like all the favoritism and stuff like that. And well, the coaches I really didn't like them that much, but I guess that's where it kind of started.
I mean, for me, it was more of the aspect of it stopped being fun. It became more of a requirement and it stopped being fun. Like, it was like, people always tell you when you get to high school you have to take it more serious, but I get that, but the fun's now taken out of it.
So you thought it felt more like a chore?
Yeah, like in all honesty, like I'm not even gonna hold you. Like even outside of school, even at home, when spending time with my dad, it became a chore. Like when I would get in trouble, I would have to read sports magazines as a punishment, not as, oh, Isaiah, you should check this out. This is really cool. Read this. It was, you not doing good in school, read this magazine. So or if you're not doing good in school, you gotta do this, or watch this game. This is what you're gonna have to watch. I'm not gonna let you watch nothing else but this game. So it became like a requirement for me to have to do this. It took my love for basketball and made it into, like, I felt like this was a punishment. Like basketball was now becoming a punishment for me. Like it wasn't like, oh, Isaiah, you should want to watch this because it's something that can help you progress as a player. Like looking back at it, I would have loved to be able to enjoy those moments, but it was just like I just kept feeling like this is a punishment. It wasn't fun for me anymore. And then going to the high school where it's like I didn't really have that close relationship with the coaches like I did in recreation. Like you had that relationship with your coach where it's like they knew you personally. Like they had conversations with you. Like at some of our practices, I remember one year we literally spent the whole practice talking, literally just talking. That was it. That was the whole practice, us talking. So we did not dribble, pick up a basketball. But it's like when I got to high school, it was like that relationship with our coaches. It wasn't that. It wasn't like, hey, let's just actually sit down and have a conversation. Like the players, of course, like everybody I play with, kudos to y'all. I hope y'all, shout out to y'all, keep doing what y'all doing. If y'all still playing, keep grinding. Y'all get there eventually. But it was just like that distance from the coaches was just like, Like I remember my freshman year, I didn't do that well, but I didn't do that well because I'm not gonna hold you. I was getting high. I was high as
Oh
hell.
my god! Freshman year was the
freshman year.
It's the dark ages.
Yeah,
the dark ages.
It really was dark and smoky. That's all I know. Because literally every day, that's all I used to do was smoke. Like I used to smoke every lunch period, smoke before school, smoke on the way home from school, drop a bag off, and get out.
You know it's bad when you're at your old middle school. And then you see your brother and your best friend walking through recess, high as a kite, and you're like, what the hell are you doing here? And they say, we're going home.
Yeah.
At that moment, I was like, it is all over for these two. That's literally it. They may not make it through high school. I'm sorry.
That's literally it. That was literally my freshman year. And it was just like, it just, because I messed up freshman year going into my sophomore year, I really wanted to focus more on the book aspect of it. But then it was like, when you play high school sports, you have to do the workouts. Not have to, but they want you to come to the workouts. They want you to be.
Man, that shit was mandatory. You eat, sleep, shit, basketball, like day in, day out.
I wouldn't say that some coaches felt as though it was mandatory. Some did, some didn't. But it was just like, I wanted to have that conversation with a coach, but me personally, I just didn't have that connection to them where it could be like, hey, look, listen, I really messed up my life last year. I want to try to get it. I want to try to get it back on track. I really do still want to play, but I can't really give you the full dedication that I want to this because there is stuff going on outside of this sport. Like I don't to me personally, a lot of coaches don't take that initiative to really know what's going on outside of basketball. Like now I feel like there are many coaches that do, but it's a rare few that actually do take that initiative to really get to know their players. Like really get to understand like, hey, I really wish I had that Coach Carter kind of coach.
The more nurturing kind of coach.
Not even just nurturing, just listen, guide me. Don't just guide me through sports. Don't just show me the actual sports aspect of it. Like how to dribble, how to cross somebody up, how to shoot. Talk to me and let me know that you're actually a human being. Let me know that you're actually a caring coach. We can laugh and we can joke all we want, but in all seriousness, when are we ever going to have those serious kind of conversations? Like, remember in Maxon, Coach Hunter and them, they used to have those serious man talks with us.
The sit downs, empty classroom, the whole entire team venting, just talking about really what's on our mind and just guiding us through, I guess, our youth or whatever, but yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, so we need more of that. Like I would really love to see more coaches do that. Like cuz there are players out there who really want to give their time, who really are passionate about it, but they can't because there's so much stuff going on outside of it, and that's no excuse. I don't blame them for cutting me cuz hey, listen, by all means, you got to do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. And then that messed up the rest of my years because I couldn't play my senior year because I didn't have a doctor, and then that's a whole different another story.
Oh yeah, again, it gets a bit political at some times, but
it starts to get too complicated. So for me personally, it was just like I had to start looking for something different. I had to look for a new passion, and I honestly don't think I could find one. It was after the weed, you know what I'm saying? It was honestly, it was a relationship. Because remember, every year after freshman year, I always had a girlfriend. Always.
That is for damn sure. But don't know how, but that's for damn sure.
Don't know how. You know what I'm saying? We like I said. But another episode, we'll get into that. But
he's not a nice person.
It just relationships became my thing. It was like I had to find something to fill in the hole where basketball was, and then that messed me up too.
I think my story is a bit the opposite of yours then, because like I eventually found something a little bit better, even though I was leaning more towards like the military. But like right around like my sophomore year is when I actually started to get more interested into like theater, and so that kind of like started to like take its place in order for the basketball, where I actually quit the team eventually and just focus strictly on theater. Even though I was a bit like hesitant of going into it because I was like, I never performed before, you know, and like everybody in my family are like artists. Like my mother, she
And let's
really,
not
really
also beat around the bush. You also got fat too. That also played a part in it.
All right, that
You did get fat. You was a couch
my
potato.
couch potato. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of like the springboard for
But
it.
I'm saying that the army years was your fat nigga years. Like
I'm not proud of it, guys. I'm sorry, but like I spent the entire summer on the couch with like a bag of Doritos, just munching through.
Hey,
Kool-Aid,
Listen,
just-
hey, no, don't be giving brands out. Listen, Doritos. You want your name thrown? Sponsor us.
You right.
Aid.
You right.
I'm not
I
gonna say the
spent
first
I
part.
spent the summer eating chips.
There you go.
Can't disclose it. I spent the summer just eating chips, drinking juices, never water, and just putting on mad weight. But it was like around this time where they used to show, the Wayans brothers, but they used to show it on MTV too.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to come on like around 9 o'clock, and it would run from like 9 to like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I used to spend that entire time from like 9 to 5 o'clock in the morning just watching the Wayans brothers. And then that kind of like led me to wanting like, you know what? I think I want to live in New York City. Didn't know what the fuck I was going to do in New York City. That shit never like fucking came to me.
Don't know why anybody would want to live there.
Because New York City is the greatest city on planet
Listen,
Earth,
Hodge,
bro.
we're not going to talk
You
about
know
this.
you living in a good city when you see a
That's
big
a
ass
good
rat
city?
walk
That's
across
a good
your
ci-
foot.
That's
the
what
smell of-
defines a good city. I gotta go there and see a rat. Not give me the what's up nod.
The what's
and
up
that's
now,
how I know
and
I'm
then
in a
you
good
see
city.
a big ass roach climb out of the sewer where you can hear the damn thing hissing at you.
Y'all hear this? This is what makes a good city, not the people, because those people are angry.
What makes New Yorkers angry?
Hodge, when you lived in New York, you were more angry than you ever were before.
I was more angry because I'm like freaking have class from like 8 a.m. to like 12 if I'm doing like a show or whatever, and I get like maybe an hour or two to myself. But in between that, I'm doing like fucking homework. Of course, I'm a college kid. I'm stressed out. I'm on coffee.
and you
I
live
was
in New
poor.
York.
The
That
New York
adds
was
to
the
the
best
stress.
part of me being in college, bro. Because even though after all the stresses that I had to go through, I know Friday night, Saturday night, I can go to a nice little bar with some other people, you know, who's in college, same predicament as me, and we could just chill out, crack open a couple of beers, get
And then
shit faced,
Monday
it was
you
great.
go back to the stressful, piss-infested rat. I don't even know. I just hate New York.
The
But wait, that's
sweet
the-
New York. That's
I
because
don't
somebody
hate-
stole
no.
your Timberland boots.
Okay,
You tried
listen.
to get on the
no.
train.
That's a whole other story for another day. But like I said,
Fuck
I
is
don't
wrong
hate
this
the-
Timberlands.
I don't hate the people in New York, but I hate the city. The city of New York, the idea of New York makes no sense to me. It doesn't. I don't get it. I don't get why people would have lived there. You know,
You didn't explore New York. You probably stayed
Why?
strictly in Manhattan, bro.
No, I didn't. I've been all around. I just don't like it. I don't like someplace where they get everywhere.
Bro, there are like some parts of Queens who is
We are
literally
going-
just
look,
like
listen,
Jersey.
We're going off track here. We'll save that for another episode. But
It's getting heated
you
already.
as you said, you were
Yeah, so
exploring the Wayans brothers.
yeah, so I
You
was
wanted to live in New
exploring the
York.
Wayans brothers, and that made me want to live in New York City. Still had no idea what the hell I wanted to do, but then the thought came to me one day because I was like, you know what? Well, my parents, you know, they're artists. Like my mom, she was really good at drawing. She could sing. My dad was a DJ. He was really good at it too. He was also a breakdancer. Couldn't believe that shit. Because you see him now, he's just this big ass dude who looks like Tyrese Gibson. So I'm like, there's no fucking way this guy's breakdancing. He's gonna break a damn bone. But
Oh man, busting the move.
leave my dad alone, man. Come on.
Spinning on that ball head. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Are you done ripping on my dad right now? You know he's gonna hear this shit, right?
I don't care. Oh man.
Well, anyway, once that thought came to
Out here
me,
break this and pop lock and looking like
shut
Terry
up, leave my
Crews.
dad alone. Come on, man. Damn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Shit.
Oh,
You done?
but yes, artists break dancing.
I'm gonna turn off your damn mic. Yeah, so yeah, so once that thought came to me, I was like, all right, maybe I'll give acting a try. So I literally called my school guidance counselor. Was like, hey, can you switch me out of I think I swapped maybe ROTC because I signed up for that. I swapped ROTC for an acting class, and then I took it like that sophomore year. And dude, it was just the weirdest shit ever because I have never in my life felt such a rush of feelings before. Because like usually I was a bit more closed off than anything. Like I used to have like an anger problem when I was a kid, but all that shit just kind of got suppressed. But once I did like my very first like improv scene, and I had to like play this high school football player who was using steroids during like a championship game, and like my best friend came in and saw me, I kind of just had like this little pencil and I just made it look like a needle or whatever, and then I just kept like repeating this sort of like mantra. I was like, I need it, and then just, I hate fucking saying this, and anybody out there who's also an actor, you know the old saying, I caught the acting bug, and then a wave of emotions came over me, and I just blanked out. I didn't know what I was doing.
Stabbing yourself, saying you needed, and then you needed acting. That's what it was.
That was the most corniest shit you have ever just said right now. You need to bleep that out.
I'm not deleting it. That's a good one.
That was freaking terrible. But yeah, that's where it all stemmed. Stop, man. Damn.
Shakespeare.
I'm not going to do this podcast with you if you keep making these corny ass lines.
Go ahead.
You and your fucking chocolate covered Wawa shirt. Motherfucker got a fork with a chocolate cake on it. But yeah, man, once like I felt that feeling, I knew right then and there. I was like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And then I pulled my acting teacher to the side. Shout outs to him. You're my mentor. You guided me through all of this shit. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for you. So shout out to you, man. I love you to death. But I went over to Mr. Miller and I told him, I was like, hey, I want to do this seriously. Like, I want to make a living doing this. And honestly, he just told me one thing, and it was the most simplest shit ever. But at the time, I was like, yeah, I get it. But he was just like, it's going to take sacrifice. So I was like, well, yeah, that's not bad. I could sacrifice
given with anything.
Yeah, like,
and pretty much you already knew that sacrifice from playing sports.
Yeah, so I was like, it's nothing to me. I got to sacrifice a couple of Saturdays, a couple of good hot days just to come and do rehearsals. That's nothing. It wasn't until like 2-3 years later where I actually started to understand what this guy really meant. I mean, so right after he told me that, and then I graduated high school, I didn't get into college right then and there. I guess
in a way though, for me, that was kind of different because you had somebody who really guided you towards something you were passionate about. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a beat with you. All my teachers hated me.
I wonder why they hated you though. It's not like a teacher just said, hey, that kid right there, fuck him, I don't like him. You did something. You always did something.
No, not really. I didn't. I just didn't take their shit. Like, you're not about to sit here. You're not about to talk to me like you the shit. I know how much you make.
The motherfuckers is the teacher, bro. Like,
damn, I know how much you make. You're not gonna talk to me like and belittle me. Like, I'm not a person.
They don't just belittle you just to belittle you. You had to do something.
There was some teachers who would just be talking to you like you was crazy. Some of them, no. Most of them, yes. Most of the teachers I always had that one teacher every year who would talk to me like they crazy and lost their mind. And, I just had to be me.
Lack of authority.
I would say this. There were many teachers there who did inspire me to want to learn about different aspects of things. Like, I feel like when I got into the cooking class, I did enjoy the passions of cooking. Like, it was fun for me. Like, even still to this day, I will go in the kitchen and I will cook it up.
This motherfucker can cook.
But that also stemmed from outside too, because also my mom said once you can see over the counter, you on your own. That's it. Fend for yourself.
Hard lessons from the early age, bro.
Yeah, man. Once you can see over the counter, you good, bro. I'm gonna still make you dinner, but that's it. You want lunch? Make it yourself. You want breakfast? I think about it. You want a snack? What's that? Like, so sometimes it was just like, that cooking actually showed me that, there are other things out there besides basketball that you can be passionate about. I did get into like art and stuff, and, I was always able to draw and was passionate about it. I wanted to do graphic design, But it was just like I wanted to do so many different things. Like it was just like I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. Business, I want to do business. I want to look into exploring business more. I want to like it was just too much. I could never just pinpoint it. And then one thing about me was I hated school. I hated the concept of it. I hated the building itself. I hated the smell of school. When I walked in that building, it just made me depressed. I feel like that all high schools and elementary schools and middle schools, y'all need an air freshener that just makes you be like, I'm happy to be here. Because walking into them buildings, I just got depressed. Every Monday, I would be happy on the walk to school. I would be happy before I got in the door. But once I walked into that goddamn door, all emotion left my body. My soul just said, why am I here?
I got excited, by the way. I absolutely love that smell of school. I actually like school.
I hated it. After the first day, it was just like, I gotta keep doing this. So it was just like me personally in high school. I discovered I hate school. I hate it. Homework? Oh, don't get me started on that. Homework. These people want to talk about homework. We're going to take the work that we do in class and I'm going to take it home with you. But they don't tell you that it's not worth crap on your report card. And it wasn't, well, back in our day, we not that old though. It wasn't worth crap. It wasn't worth crap. Literally, you're sending me home to do something that really isn't going to be put towards the overall grade. Like I discovered all you had to do was pass your tests, do projects, pass the midterm, pass the final, you pass the class. You don't, and do a little bit of your classwork, even though sometimes we didn't do classwork. What was classwork? A piece of paper put in front of us that some of these teachers didn't even grade. Not all of y'all, not all teachers are the same.
True, but there are some teachers who just did not.
Let you just skate by. I'm going to give you a piece of paper. Here you go. And then you just talking with your friends.
My freshman English class, every single day was me writing down words out of the dictionary and handing it to her.
Bro, my algebra class was literally, I'm going to give you this I'm going to give you this book. I'm going to give you this page. Do the assignments on that page. Bro, what? How am I supposed to figure this out? You're not going to teach us how to do it. How do we get to this level? Then the crazy part was, no disrespect to him, his English sucked. What is with you people and hiring teachers whose English sucks? How are you going to have them teach classes and I can barely understand them? Like, I get it. You probably have a great degree in this, but I don't understand the word coming out of your mouth. I don't at all. You sitting here telling me, what? What does that mean? Like, and it's not that, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody's accent, but it's just like certain, if you're doing the interview process, you have to look at the demographic of your school. If you have mostly English speaking students, you need to make sure that the teachers can speak English very well. Because that barrier makes it hard for them to learn. And I learn from listening and watching people do stuff. So if I can't understand you, how am I supposed to get this work done? And this is just me just winging the shit now. So now I'm sitting here, doing all the work. And then you expect me to do homework after you didn't teach me shit? Oh, you done fell and bumped your head. I'm going outside.
That's where you made your mistake at. You shouldn't have went outside.
I'm going outside. I'm smoking a blunt. I just need a blunt and a cookie. I just need a blunt and a cookie. That's it. That's all I wanted after school. I wanted a blunt and a cookie. That's it. Called it a day. Then went back outside and just kicked it with my boys. But I will say this. I graduated though. Surprisingly. Not even gonna hold you people. I didn't think I was gonna graduate.
I damn sure didn't think he was gonna make it. Let alone my brother. I said, oh Lord, my people ain't gonna make it. My people ain't gonna make it.
Look, I ain't gonna hold you. We walked up to that boy. We prayed. We was like, Lord, please get there, man. We here. We finally here. And then we seen our names. I almost fainted. I was like, really? I was more shocked than happy. I was like, really? I graduated.
You sure? You sure that's right?
I was looking at the fine print like, wait, are you sure? It doesn't say, hey, but needs to do this? No.
You sure it says finished. Isaiah Jones?
Hey, listen.
With this address?
They didn't put the address up there. But no, seriously, I was actually surprised, but I did finish. That's the one thing I can proudly say. I finished. Out of all the stress and turmoil and stuff I had to go through, I finished. Most people sometimes they don't and they have to go back, but I stuck it
Some
through and I
people
finished.
just don't make it out.
Yeah. And so for everybody who feels as though like school isn't for them and it's getting tougher and tougher throughout the years, look, I completely understand, but all you have to do is finish.
Just make it through, bro. Like once you make it through, get your high school diploma, everything else, you kind of just like figure it out. And it's not that bad. Not everybody has to be the college type. That's actually, I guess I kind of hate it when parents be like, oh, well, you have to go to college, and they put together like all these like college funds and everything, which is good. Shout outs to those parents who actually do that. But also it's just like, what if your kid doesn't really like school? Like in your case, sitting in a classroom, and I can test to this, for hours on end, just learning all this extra freaking stuff, it's not going to benefit you. And in college, they really don't give a shit.
Let me ask you a serious question. And be completely honest when I asked you, have you used anything besides the stuff you learned in your acting class to use outside of high school?
Hell no. Hell no. Wait a minute. One thing. One thing. It was a math class in high school, but it wasn't your ordinary fucking calculus, all that bullshit. He literally taught us how to write checks, balance your checkbook, and learn how credit works.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
Actual shit you can apply to everyday life.
Classes like that, like my business class was one of the best classes I've ever had because you was the best business teacher in all of Plainfield High School. But that business class is what opened my eyes to what business is. Like those, like even in the math class, I get it. We can have our little math lessons, but teach me about credit now so I have a better understanding about it when I graduated. They don't have classes like that. In my English class, teach us, instead of having us write papers about this book we're reading, teach us how to write our resumes or teach us how to go through the process of being able to speak in interviews. Have us have those type of classes where we understand, where we're getting more of a real life aspect.
Real life shit.
Like I always say, pre-K gets you ready for kindergarten. Kindergarten gets you ready for elementary school. Elementary school gets you ready for middle school. Middle school, it gets you ready for high school. High school is supposed to either get you ready for college or get you ready for real life. But for some strange reason, that has missed everybody. It's gone away. I don't know where it went. Outer space somewhere. But high school literally just gets you ready to just sit there and make you rethink, why the hell am I here?
Because it's full with all these like curriculums, but you don't even freaking use it unless you're lucky enough to have those teachers who will be like, look, I understand you have to follow curriculum, but I'm about to teach you guys some shit that you can actually use in your life. That way you don't fuck it up down the road. Like I actually should have paid a little bit more attention in the math class about the credit shit because I fucked my credit all the way up going down the line. But that's a whole different story that I'm not going to definitely get into. But not everybody like has those teachers who can actually do that, who actually take the time and really show these kids the way. But
and if they do, and if you do have those teachers, they're the ones that get criticized and penalized for straying away from, hey, that's not teaching them about these tests. We got to teach them what's on these standardized tests. I mean, now apparently from what I've been told, they don't really do a lot of standardized testing, but it's still the same thing.
Not anymore?
Like, nah, it's not big on standardized tests. Like, I don't. Yeah, like, I think my nephew, he didn't really have to, it's not really big on tests. I'm just telling you from what I was told. But
that's some bullshit.
But honestly, it's still the same concept. Like, there aren't many teachers that are willing to take that chance. Like, hey, let me actually get these kids ready for life. Like, I would have loved that. Because honestly, like I tell you every day, bro, had any of these teachers pulled me to the side and said, look, nigga, listen. If you don't get your crap together, you are going to lose out on sleep. Because they do not tell you this. They do not tell you the lack of sleep you get the older you get. They will sit here and they'll talk about, well, you ain't gonna make no money. Well, you ain't gonna eat. I don't give a damn about all that.
You ain't gonna sleep, and that's gonna be your greatest downfall.
Listen, I value sleep. Naps, oh Jesus! If you can sneak a nap into your day, I feel like that's the best thing in the world. You take that junk in kindergarten and preschool for granted. Them naps be coming in clutch when you start getting up there in age, man. Like you start losing. Oof! Just thinking about all the hours of sleep I lost out on. If a teacher had said this is gonna be your life, and actually explained it to me that you will be waking up at this time from this time, and you gonna have to do this after because you can't go to sleep right when you get off. You got to do some other stuff because you got to do some adult stuff. And then you still got to make sure you eat and feed yourself because then you might wake up in the middle of the night hungry and want to snack on something. You damn sure can't go back to sleep. Then you're up. Or if you want to stay healthy, you got to work out. So then that's another couple hours out your day. So now you got to make time. You ain't going to get 8 hours of sleep like you're supposed to. Let's go into more of the because you actually did explore colleges and actually went to college. So what was the rundown or the process of you getting to that point where it's like, I'm here, these could be, what is it, like 10, 12 years? How long does it take for you to get a doctorate?
They get a doctorate about like 8 years, maybe?
Nah, I don't think it's 8.
You sure? It's
2
like 4 years undergrad.
Bachelor's.
Yeah, and then you have to go
years
for your master's. Oh, yeah, that's 4, 6, and 8. Then you got to do your doctorate.
Yeah, you were 8. So that's like 8 years of big books.
Depending on what you're going in for.
But yeah, talk to the people about that, man.
What, about the college experience?
Not even just the college, the process leading up to the college experience. Like, what did you have to go through to get there?
Well, for me, being an actor, it's all based on auditioning. So a lot of the colleges, a lot of conservatory colleges, so like Rutgers, my school, Pace University, Yale and stuff like that, it all boils down to your audition. So this is like around time in community college, because at this time when I graduated, I ended up in community college because I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to go to a university yet. I was like, I can just study underneath some teacher, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I can attest to that. Like, I know people who didn't go to college and study under some really great master teachers, and they are out there right now doing their thing. So don't let people put this idea in your head that if you want to be good at something, you want to be great, you have to go to college. No, you do not. You should go to college if you feel that is the best move for you. And for me, I felt that studying at a university will be the best move for me. And fortunately, it worked out that way. So once I did my auditions and everything, I got called back in for Pace University and then auditioned for those guys there.
That ain't what happened. Who'd you audition for first?
Motherfucking Rutgers University. I hate them. If you listen to this right now, Rutgers, I'm sure you had your reasons, but also, damn you. All right? Because I thought I had it, yo. So I'm in the callback for Rutgers, right? It is like a 3-day callback. And I'm doing it. I'm like, all right, hell yeah. I'm doing some pretty good work here. It's going really great. I get back. First off, it's bullshit because when I left, I had a fucking parking ticket for like $70 because my car was parked for too damn long. So that pissed me off. And a motherfucker stole my coat and it was cold. So I'm not happy about that. But the moment I got home, right, I freaking go to my voicemail and it's Pace University. They're like, hey, you got in. I was like, oh shit, dope. Fantastic. That's good news. Well, what about Rutgers? The next day, Rutgers sent me this little, not even email. You know how sometimes you get rejected through college or whatever. They'll be like, okay, you don't know. All right. So for you guys out there, if you actually got like a college rejection letter, it will be a nice, well-written letter. I did not got that.
Sent you a letter saying, fuck you, no thank you.
It might as well. I would have rather take that. It says, fuck you, we don't want you. They literally sent me this it was like a little box. It was a message with a little box. That shit said, accepted, rejected. Motherfuckers buzzer beating my ass with rejected, bro. He said rejected, and that was the last I heard of him, bro. I'm like, ain't that some shit? You couldn't even write me nothing. You just said, fuck you. You're rejected. We're moving on. But, I mean, it all worked out because I actually ended up, one, at a really, really good school. But above that, I just met some really great, outstanding people who I still rock with today. And they just make me better a person, and some really great teachers. And the training itself fit me like a glove. So honestly, I think if I would have went to Rutgers, I probably wouldn't be here right now if I went to Rutgers. I legit believe that. You know, like my dad says, everything happens for a reason. You know, you leave 5 minutes early, you miss that accident that just happened a minute before you. So
would you say that because of the craft you wanted to go into, going to college was the best option for you?
Yes. Going to college was definitely the best option for me. Yeah. So I have absolutely no rejections of that. And honestly, I would do it again and again and again and again. And I'll do it the exact same way.
So your freshman year, how was that?
Freshman year was as fun as it was a bit stressful because, one, I'm living on campus. So it was nice to have that freedom from your parents. And at this time, I was like a 21-year-old freshman because I came into it a bit late. So I had the pleasures of, you know, being legal in New York City. But it was hard because I didn't have any money, bro. Like I was fucking poor.
I think I was actually talking to whatchamacallit about this the other day, and I was saying like the year 2015 was like our broke year.
Damn right, bro.
That was the struggle year right there.
Yeah, like 2014, bro. I was making so much bank working at Chipotle. I bought myself a freaking used car by myself, paid it all off before the term was up by myself, and I got myself another car by myself. I was doing it. Once I got to college freshman year, all that freaking shit stopped. I was literally living off of the cafeteria food and 7-Eleven. That's what I was living off of, bro. That's all I had. And in between that, bro, I'm literally just in class from 8 to like 10 o'clock. And fortunately for me, I got casted in, you know, some pretty, you know, good shows. So that shit will be
interesting ones. Interesting. That's the only word that pops in my head when I see some of those. Interesting.
Look, man, it's theater, all right? It's theater. It can get pretty weird in the theater.
But nah, bro, I tell you all the time, you one of the I want to say the best actors, because I don't really know that many. But you're good at what you do, bro. I always tell you that. Sometimes, you know, you can be a little stubborn. You pick some crazy roles, but you're good at what you do.
This is making me so happy. This motherfucker has never complimented me before. This might be the last one I get until like Easter. But
listen, I may have not have said it to your face because But no, I tell people all the time. Whenever somebody asks about you, and every time I introduce you, I always say this is my acting friend. Like he went to school for acting, and he is good at what he does. I see the passion you put into this. I see like how much you love to do your acting. Like when you talk about it, you go in depth about it. Like I see it, and like I said, I commend you all the time.
Thank you.
That's why when you got your degree, I made sure I let it be known that this is a college graduate actor. He is a certified actor.
Damn right, baby.
A lot of people can't
classically
say that they
trained
went to school.
And if you people are listening out there, I have a website. I also have my Instagram. I got my Actors Access. So look me up. What?
You don't be on Instagram.
Actually, see, that's how I know you don't be on it.
You posted today, yes.
Yeah, you saw that shit.
You posted today.
Yeah, motherfucker.
You was feeling yourself up.
Bro, I was feeling. I said, damn, all right. I'm about to get my Instagram still.
But yeah, no, like I said, I commend you for going through all of that. I mean, like I said, me personally, that was never the route for me. Like it was totally different. Hated school. So when I graduated, there were certain things that happened that I tried to want to pursue school, but it never worked out. So it was just like I had to jump into being that working class man. And me personally, I don't mind working hard. Like a lot of people will sit here and say, "Oh man, I don't understand how you can do this every day. It's tiring." I gotta do what I gotta do, bro. Like when you go through that struggle of not knowing, when's the next time you gonna eat, having to go through where I'm gonna sleep at, you know what I'm saying? Like having to have that mindset after high school is just like motivates you to be like, listen, I'm gonna do it by any means necessary. I ain't gonna be out here selling. That's just not me. For any y'all out there that gotta do what y'all gotta do, keep doing what you gotta do. But I don't selling drugs. It's not my lifestyle. Being out here wanting to just do whatever in the streets, not my lifestyle. My lifestyle is I don't mind having a boss. I don't mind working hard.
That 9 to 5 life is.
I don't mind it.
It works fine for
I don't mind it. Manual, any job you tell me you need me to wash a dish, I'm a scrub a dub. Like I don't.
Except for hauling that big ass oak from the truck job.
Now, honestly, I didn't have a problem with it.
You like that shit?
I did not have a problem with it.
I hated hauling that oak, bro.
I did. Don't get me wrong. It was a brutal job. Like it would beat your body up. But if I got to do this to make my ends meet, I don't have a problem with it. And what I want a lot of people to know, and what I want to explain to the people is, just because you did not go to college doesn't mean that's the end of your life. I can tell you and I can attest that working in jobs, actually getting that work experience under your belt, to me was better, especially if you're a hands-on learner and you're not somebody who's a book learner. Trade schools could be another thing for you, but once again, school's not for me. I can't sit in the classroom all day. If I'm not making any money from this, I don't want to be spending my time doing this. And that's just how I looked at school.
So is that the reason why you decided not to do the? Because at one point I thought you was going to go to school for culinary.
Yes,
I was ICE, right?
Yeah, ICE. I wanted to go there. I really did. But then it was just like I thought about it, and then I looked into the amount of money it would cost, and then it was just like I'm going to school to do this, to get a degree, to end up finding a job
in the same
field that I'm already doing it. Like I was working at Chipotle at the time. So it's like, I'm already here. I'm already in the food industry. So why would I put myself in debt to end up working in the food industry? I'm already here. So let me take it. And this is why I tell people all the time, even the people I work with, take advantage of the jobs you get, because working at Chipotle, even though sometimes I hated that job,
I want a free burrito.
He can have it. But you learn a lot from a business aspect of it. Like you learn a lot of what goes into the food industry. Even now, I work at Wawa. That also helps me understand marketing and business planning. Like you learn a lot about inventory management. You learn a lot about food inventory and pricing. You learn a lot about inflation and what's the other one? Inflation and
I don't know. Deflation, motherfucker?
I guess so. I don't want to sound like I'm
I don't know. I took that shit for granted.
But no, like you learn a lot about this stuff by actually working into the field, like actually seeing the numbers, actually seeing the progress, actually seeing sales go up and down, actually seeing how if I market this different, I can actually get people in here and try this. Or if I'm giving people free samples of this and the customer experience, like actually learning stuff like this can help you. So that's why, me personally, I always tell people, if you're a hands-on learner and you work in these jobs, don't take them for granted. If you at McDonald's or Burger King flipping that burger, don't take it for granted. Be there. Put in that time that you need to.
Put in that 110% work.
Yes,
be a
because
fucking
at the end of the
professional
day,
at it.
You flipping them burgers can end up helping you. Like me personally, now I'm in management. I've been able to progress. Like I ain't trying to sit here and brag by all means, but
why not fucking brag? You earned that shit.
No, I'm not trying to brag because I don't want to belittle anybody. But I will say this: what people spend 4 years trying to make, I'm already making, and I've only been working for this company for 2 years. So you spending 4 years in college, not trying to knock you. If that's what you want to do, you do that. But you spending 4 years in college doing that, I just did it in 2, and I'm already making what you'll be making when you start this job. So don't let nobody ever sit here and tell you otherwise, man. If you high school or if college is not the end all be all, your education will always be there. If you want to further your education, it will always be there for you. but take advantage of what you have in front of you.
Education is just knowledge, and knowledge
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Life can be a teacher, and that's how I took it. That's the route I went. Life has been my teacher. I've never taken nothing that I've been through for granted. All the ups and downs of my life, I've never taken it for granted. It has gotten me to where I am now. It has made me who I am to this day. Like I can't say I don't like me. I love me. I love who I am. And would I do everything the same way? Yes, exactly. Well, no, exactly the same. I think about that for a second. Think about the relationships. But like I said,
I was thinking about the weed, man. Would you do the whole weed thing again?
Honestly, yeah, I'd smoke again. I would, because I don't smoke now. I got it out the way. I got it out my system. I did that. I've been there. I've done it. I don't want to. It don't get you nowhere. It costs too much now.
That's the real thing.
Oh no, yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. That's the real reason I stopped smoking.
That's the reason why
once I had to start paying for it, that's when it was like, oh no. If it gone from free to prices, and then the prices keep jumping every time.
That's called influx for your ass, bro.
And it was just like, well, you influx, I'ma get out, because I'm not doing this. But yeah, no, like honestly, I commend myself for pushing myself through to the end, because like I said, college is not for everybody, and I stress this, and I can't stress this enough. College is definitely not for everybody.
I agree. I concur.
And you cannot
SAT word.
force yourself. Don't let nobody force you into wanting to go to college, because I promise you, I know people who went and were miserable. Miserable because they didn't know what they wanted to do. So now they're sitting here changing majors every other year.
I know.
Just to end up dropping
why.
out. For that to be their goal, just to drop out. When in my head, it was just like, you could have went to a trade school. And if trade school didn't work out, you could have just worked in that field and got a better understanding. Like, nobody's ever going to turn you away.
That's because, like, I think one big thing of that is, like, now people just kind of feel like that apprenticeship has, like, faded away. It's like, no, that shit still exists.
To an extent, in my opinion. Because in my head, it's just like, yo, like, we need to bring that back, bro. Like, instead of college, just have apprenticeships. But then once again, that's jobs taken away from people that have spent their life going to school to actually get that degree, to be able to teach these people. So it's a hard thing to juggle, to try to say we should bring certain things back and we shouldn't. But in my opinion, certain places should have apprenticeships for those people that do not want to go to school for this, but still want to learn that craft. Like, that would be better for the world. Like, that would be more job opportunities. Like, you see more entrepreneurs now than ever before. And it's like it's like you need that degree for that to be your validation for certain people. Like, a degree is your validation that, hey, I can actually do this, when I know people who can do a job better than somebody with a degree. I know people with a mechanic certificate that I know a person that work out their garage that can fix their car better than a mechanic can. And have your shit looking spiffy. So, it's just, I just don't like the fact that sometimes a college degree can take away from the working class person. Because even when you go for a job interview, they always say, which sometimes can't necessarily be true, but they always say that they'll hire the person with the degree than the person without the degree. But in my head, it's just like, if I'm a business owner and I see you have years of experience in this particular field, and I see this person just went to let's say Harvard, got a degree in the field, that just means you put in the book work. You don't actually know the work it actually takes to be here. What the stress you're actually gonna go through.
And I can agree with that, because honestly, I think that's kind of how I got the job that I have now. Because, like, I don't know shit about auto parts. I mean, I like cars. I love cars. We're talking like performance stuff. Like, yeah, I know it, but the nitty gritty of what it takes to actually be in that environment, I don't fucking know. And I think I got hired solely on the fact that I have a college degree. But luckily for me, I actually put in the work and I really want to learn shit, which is the reason why I applied in the first place. But yeah, I think that really coincides with what the fuck you're saying now. It's
Yeah, like
that degree. It's a powerful. To that, I would say, no, you don't have to go to college. But the benefits of what college can actually offer you, like that piece of paper, says more than just. It's like that piece of paper says more. How can I put this? When people look at that piece of paper, it says that you have put in the work and the sacrifice at a really high prestigious school or whatever that may be, and they can trust your training. That's what that paper means. But the same thing can go for the other person who doesn't have that piece of paper, who also put in that work, that time, that blood, sweat, and tears in the underground. But because you got that piece of paper, that shit knocked down a couple more doors than the guy in the underground who couldn't really, honestly, get him through the back door.
And I want people to understand, when you're listening to this episode, we are not bashing anybody that went to college. I commend you people that went to college. I commend y'all because I've seen it from experience with people who have gone to college, that it can be stressful. It can be the most stressful times of y'all lives. And for y'all that made it, congratulations. I wish y'all the best of luck in life. And I hope you guys can make it. But for those out there who did not go to college, I really want y'all to listen to hear me. It is not over. You can do whatever you want to do. You just have to put in work. You just have to not take every day for granted. Put in that. If you can wake up in the morning and say, I gave 110%, or I did the best I possibly could, then it's all going to be for the best. I promise you. I did it. I'm here. I'm happy. I'm happy, but I'm not done yet. To basically coincide everything, we chose two different paths. We're still friends to this day, and we don't bash each other. And that's another thing I kind of want to get into the topic of, is because, we have this conversation every day. We know people that have gone to school, and to sit here and bash somebody that didn't go to school. Don't do that.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that a-hole.
Yeah, don't be that person. You chose this path. It worked out for you. They chose that path. It didn't work out for you. Work out for them.
What they had was a dream and an unbreakable drive. And that shit goes far. This is a lot, guys. You guys got a whole lot on the very first episode. And trust me, they're not always going to be like this, but they will hit hard. Our podcast is not just going to be about, funny jokes and old, silly tales. This shit is really going to cut through and speak to you.
So, I want you to explain to people how COVID has affected you in your degree.
Honestly, that shit pushed me back like several years. And to that, I mean, at the time when I was a senior, like last year of 2020, I was ready to go. I was like, all right, I did all my years of training. I'm ready. I'm in LA right now. I'm actually meeting all these, casting directors and, these agents and stuff like that. I feel like I can definitely do this. I just have to do my showcase. I'll get put on and then I'm there. But once COVID struck and literally all that was stripped away from me, and everybody else out there who's part of that, graduating 2020 class, our lives essentially were stripped away in a sense. So now that I'm back here living home with my parents, everything just seems like it's like I'm starting everything all over again. It's like my degree hangs up on my wall and I'm just like, I look at it. I literally look at my degree sometimes and I just be like, did I really like learn anything? Because like I do these auditions, like I do many different auditions and I don't book. And that can be a bit discouraging because I'm not getting any work, and let alone that, there's not much work, that's being put out there, which is also really, really hard to deal with. So you're just trying to find some way to stay sane and stay creative as an artist during this time. And it is the most frustrating thing ever, because when you're in school, you have constant work, whether you're working on a script for a play or you're just doing regular scene work. You always have something in your hands that you can work on and better yourself. And the harsh reality of essentially being kicked out of my apartment in New York City and then being forced to move back home with my parents where I don't have any of that independence no more.
Yeah, I know that had to be tough to go from living in your own apartment, having that independence, to now having to go back.
It was the worst thing ever. Like I finally felt that I was moving towards that adulthood. Like I'm running towards, my adult life. And then the door just got slammed on my big toe and I'm screaming in pain, running backwards home to mommy.
Yeah. I don't know about any of that. I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah,
now.
I'm weird.
I live back at home, so by myself, so I don't really have to worry about that struggle of leaving campus to then have to come back home and not live in your own place. I would imagine it would have to suck. COVID has not taken this from us. We're not gonna sit here and allow COVID to take from the fact that everything shut down. So how can we get to our end goal? Because you're still finding a way to be that great actor.
Damn straight.
And I'm still trying to pursue that businessman's mindset and ways of making income that's different from what people expect from me. Mm-hmm. So in closing, I would just have to say, man, to all the people out there, man, just don't give up, Like the title says, not exactly finished. Yeah, we did that thing, man. We did that damn thing. That's the woo! God damn, that's a good ass episode.
That's a good ass episode, bro. Cut that shit up real nice.
Yeah, I got you. We gonna do that damn thing. But yeah, make sure you tune into us next Monday. Oh yeah, I'm not in that part. I want y'all to hear us bragging. But make sure you tune in next Monday. The official episode will be posted on Monday before 12. I promise you that. We just had some scheduling issues.
You guys have been waiting for it. And for that, we thank you. We will not disappoint you guys, I promise.
We shall be back on schedule.